Hi guys, good morning everyone. Can you
Good
guys
morning,
hear me?
Suresh.
Good morning.
Yes, Suresh, you're audible.
Yes, yes. Shall we start, Harsha?
Yeah, sure, Suresh.
Okay, let me share my screen.
So I'll be presenting first and
Sure,
then
sure.
I'll take. So good morning, everyone. Uh, Welcome to the OWASP Visakhapatnam Chapter Meet. The OWASP is the World Open Worldwide Application Security Project, and this is a non-profit foundation that works to improve the security of software applications. This OWASP is launched on December 1st, 2001. This OWASP is enabled to dedicated to enabling organizations to conceive, develop, uh, operate, and maintain applications that can be trusted. All of these OWASP projects, tools, documents, and forums are free to use. So anyone who is interested in developing a secure application or want to contribute to the OWASP are uh, are always welcome to help. And, So the main vision, the only vision of the OWASP is to uh, build a world where there is no more insecure software. And our mission is to be the global open community that powers secure software. We encourage everyone to participate in our local channels, projects, and events, etc. You can even become a member or consider a donation to support this ongoing work. By becoming a member, you can take part in our further events and also get benefits like OWASP Google account. OWASP Visakhapatnam chapter is created to contribute towards the advancements in web application security and cybersecurity to make the world more secure than ever. This chapter is planning on conducting hackathons, awareness sessions, and webinars on web security. We will ensure to provide very helpful information and help many people to join in the field of cybersecurity. And I am one of the leaders of OWASP Visakhapatnam, and Sriharsha Saragadam is another leader. We also have a secretary for our chapter, and he is Shaukat Ali Sheikh. We three are working together as of now for this chapter, and I thank our secretary for helping us in organizing this session. So make sure that you follow our Instagram and LinkedIn pages where we will be posting regular updates about further events, and also we will be posting some interesting stuff regarding cybersecurity where you can improve your knowledge. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today's session, Mr. Suresh A. Suresh is a highly accomplished cybersecurity consultant at Palo Alto Networks with a specialization in security automation. He worked with renowned consulting companies such as Wipro and PwC. As a passionate security evangelist, uh, he has delivered numerous webinars and workshops sharing knowledge in the area of security automation. And we also have to thank Prashasth and Suresh for approaching us and making this session happen. We are delightful to have him with us today. From here, Suresh will continue. Suresh, can you please take over?
Hi guys, good morning everyone. Uh, Let me share my screen. So, are you guys able to see my screen, right? Hello?
Yes, Suresh, it's visible.
Okay. So, once again, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining. I know it's a weekend, so thank you taking your time out for this session. So today our topic is about cybersecurity 101. This session is for beginners who really want to get into the cybersecurity industry. And we are not going to get into the deep dive into the technical aspects of security, but going forward, we'll provide that sessions, technical aspect sessions as well. Before getting into the session, let me introduce myself. I'm Just a second. Yes. Before getting into session, let me introduce myself. I'm Suresh, working as a cybersecurity consultant at Palo Alto Networks, which is the global leader in the cybersecurity industry. And apart from my day-to-day work, I used to give talks at security communities about the cybersecurity topics. Uh, let's quickly jump into the session. Layoffs are scary. As you are aware that in the year 2022, we have seen a massive tech layoffs. Initially, it started with Twitter, Stripe, and Netflix. And if you can see, one in three companies anticipates laying off 30% of workforce in 2000. They're going to lay off in 2023. Yes, it's a scary period due to some macroeconomic situations and as well as organized overhead. And if you see all your fan-based companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft have done these layoffs. In this situation, we need to brace yourself, and layoff is upon us. And during this situation, you might think that why are you scaring us more, right? So, is there any hope? As per the forecast, it is these layoffs will continue in 2023 as well. And at the end of the day, there is a good news too. The good news is you are on the right place in the right time, and thanks to WASP, where you guys are learning a bit of cybersecurity as well. And and I will show some stats, and you think that why there is a good news, right? Uh, so global security workforce estimates that there are 5 million jobs were there in all the respective regions like North America, EMEA, APAC, and it has been increased to 15.6% in our Asia Pacific region. Uh, if you see, there is a more than if you go to LinkedIn, normally if you go to LinkedIn, most of the jobs are you will find it related to cybersecurity, right? And if you were in the cybersecurity workforce, there are around a skill gap of more than 2 million of in the Asia Pacific region. Not only Asia Pacific region, in Europe also you can see there is a gap in the workforce gap in the cybersecurity. And if you go to Google and search which industry has an unemployment rate, uh, 0%, you will get the cybersecurity. So if you ask me, for every two cybersecurity jobs, there is one seat is empty. And this will be an advantage for you guys to grab this opportunity during the layoffs. And of course, there is an even cybersecurity got impacted in this scary situation. And and everyone will have a question that is, will I get a great pay? Uh, will I get the same good salary, good packages where bank companies are paying? And you can think like whether we can surpass the software engineer salaries packages, right? Yes, there are related to pay. You can get a good uh, amount of packages, and not only the package in cybersecurity, there are a lot of benefits where compared to other aspects, other domain industries. And if you see bug bounty in India, people are earning lakhs and crores. I've seen people earning crores as well, which is a huge demand with high profile and high package. When it comes to package, you will get a good amount of money, and good you will earn a lot in the cybersecurity industry. Next, you can ask me, what is a cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. So that means any device connected to the network, right? It can be hacked. Like the device can be whether it can be your mobile phone, it can be your what do you say, your laptop, or it can be your any IoT device which is connected to the network, right? And here our device, if anyone says that we are not going to hack, that is a myth actually. So the only way you can protect your device is to unplug your device from the network, and the only way is to minimize the impact of the attack, minimize the impact. That is the job. That is our job to do it. And why should we choose the cybersecurity career? There are a huge number of cybersecurity jobs in 3.5 million are there unfilled jobs, and it may go to 5 million. And every industry needs a cybersecurity professionals. Not only the cybersecurity companies will require the cybersecurity professionals, like other organizations like banking sector, finance, and healthcare, and and even in the universities they require the cybersecurity professionals to protect the sensitive data, sensitive and critical information about the uh, information. And if you, most next is the cybersecurity has many different career paths, right? So I can give an example. I was a developer earlier, and I've shifted to change my career path to cybersecurity by learning some automation, security automation. Let's say if you're a network engineer, you want to transfer, you want to go into different path, right? You can go for a network security engineer, right? Or if you want to switch to any other different role where coding is required, you can go for security automation. In cybersecurity, you'll have a different career paths where you'll never be bored. And next is cybersecurity skill gap. There is a huge skill gap, and even with basic skill, you can get into it and you can make a mark into the cybersecurity. You can get an entry level jobs with the basic skill. And next, if you see these articles, you have seen these kind of popping up messages in your Google News and respect to other news channels that some data breach was happened, some company got hacked, or some Uber security. Recently, we have seen Uber incident, right? And here you can see the password vault as the data breach was happened in Australia Optus. So Australia Optus is a biggest telecom industry in Australia where the cyber security was happened. And if you see GTA, so GTA was hacked and it was released in the dark web, and before releasing it officially, before it released into the market. And if you see hackers demands 200 crores from the EMS. So how can we mitigate this? If someone says we are not hacked, means everything, as I mentioned earlier, everything connected to the network will get hacked until unless you have a proper protecting infrastructure, right? So whenever there is a critical, in order to mitigate this, you have to protect in such a way the sensitive and critical infrastructure to be protected. And next, you will always be, if you will always be in demand in the sense in the cybersecurity, you will always be busy. In the lockdown, you have seen a meme called where people are playing judo in the when they are doing work from home, where cybersecurity guys were doing protecting the work from home environment from the attacks and new threat vectors, and new attacks will be from the hackers, right? So they need to build a new perimeter, a new attack. They need to ready for the new attack patterns, right? So this is how the cybersecurity will work in by 24 by 7. And next, just next, what type of hackers are you? So there are six different type of hackers called black hat. There are malicious hackers. Malicious hackers mean they do the hacking with a malicious intent, and they rob the data. They rob the money by hacking the banking sectors or any other. They're doing phishing. So all those malicious intent, they will do the hacking based on with a malicious intent. Whereas white hat hacker, there are ethical hackers. You should be aspire for this other than black hat, because both will have the same benefits. But white hat hacker is a ethical hacker. Whereas gray hat, they still there is some ethical and some malicious, but it will be considered as a what do you say, illegal hacker. I mean, malicious hacker. And green hat is nothing but a script kiddies. They don't know what they're doing when they download the scripts from the Google and they do some hacking, and they are not aware of what the script is doing. So these are all these green hat hackers also malicious, whereas blue hat vengeful hackers. These hackers will seek to take personal revenge, or security professionals hire these hackers to test their new softwares, whether there are any bugs or vulnerabilities. And red hat hackers or vigilant hackers, they use aggressive methods to stop the black hat hackers. So these are the different type of hackers you have. But I would suggest you be a white hacker, be ethical. And if you're doing malicious activities, malicious kind of thing, you will be in bars. So instead of instead of getting into the trouble, you guys can do some you guys will get a good amount of pay being a white hat hacker, right? So be calm and don't break the laws. And how do I get into the cybersecurity job? Get an any IT related job and research various domains, security, cybersecurity domains. Uh, there are I'll be explaining this 7 phases in detail going forward. Researching various cybersecurity domains means you should whatever the interest you have, current interest on in one of the domains, then prepare a study plan and put a deadline for that. And entering the field is not easy. Initial phase will be very tough. And once you enter into the field, find a mentor who guides you, who supports you, who mentors you to go in the right path and work on some projects, show some experience and apply for the security job. If you ask me what all IT related jobs I can get into is, you can be a full stack developer, network engineer, dev engineer, DevOps engineer, software developer, web developer. These are all various related IT related jobs. How can you convert this into a cyber security roles, right? Cyber security jobs. Full stack developer, you might be aware of UI and the backend, front end and backend. So you can be a web application tester, and if you are a network engineer, you can be a network security engineer. If you are a DevOps engineer, you can be a DevSecOps engineer. If you are a software developer, you can be a secure software developer. If you are a web developer, you can use bug bounty. You can be a bug bounty hunter. And if you're IT administrator, you can be a uh, patch management administrator. If you're a cloud engineer, you can be a cloud security engineer. If you're a test engineer, you can be a security automation engineer. So not only these are the top I've gathered. So not only this, you can convert. So every aspect in every job related IT job, there is a security. There is a security element was there. And what kind of various domains of cybersecurity, if you want to really get into it, you have a pen tester where you do the bug bounty hunter, as I mentioned earlier. And red teaming means it's offensive side of the you will be in offensive side, and blue teaming means you will be in defensive side. And coming to cloud security, you can be a cloud security engineer, you can be a cloud security architect. And and the now the niche in the market is Docker Kubernetes security. Now in every organization they're moving to containerization kind of platforms. So this will be a top niche technology you can get into it, Docker and Kubernetes security. And network security, you will be handling some IPS, firewalls related stuff, where you do the network security engineering. You will be monitoring the traffics, where you can see in my background, there is a lot of big screens. You monitor those traffics in and out, outbound, inbound traffics, all those things. Where if you are not interested in any penetration testing, you can get into incident response, where you do some analysis on the threats as well as malware, log analysis, endpoint protection, antivirus forensics. You can be a security operation. You can be in a security operation as a security operationalist or a security operation. There are different type of levels: L1, L2, L3. You can be any of this based on your skill. And and last, if you really want to get into the coding, if you do coding and security, then you can choose for DevSecOps. You can do static application security testing, dynamic application security testing, vulnerability assessment, PT, security automation. If you want to do an automation of any security use case, which is there in the security operations, threat modeling, WAF. These are all various domains of cybersecurity. You can choose any one of them which is suitable for you. There are various domains as well, but as for my experience, I think these uh, these are very feasible to adapt the technologies, and you can get into easily get into it. Next, as I mentioned, bug bounty, right? Bug bounty platform. These are the two effective platforms where you can uh, use for to find the bugs, and you will be getting a. So most of the organization, what they will do is they're going to post this URLs in these platforms to find the vulnerabilities within the application URL. If you find those vulnerabilities, and you will be paid a bounty. It can be pay off. It can be in the form of what do you say, money, it can be form of gifts, So I would suggest these two are the most used bug bounty platforms. If you really want to get into bug bounty, you can use, and there are some reports being published publicly. You can go through those reports, and what are the techniques used to find the bugs. You can see in the Twitter, and as well as in the Bug Crowd and HackerOne platforms. Next, how to start studying a cybersecurity job, right? Nowadays, we have various online platforms, open source online platforms where you can learn different technologies. Where Udemy, you can use these channels, Security Weekly, IPsec, Security Now, and Udemy, you'll have Nathan House Cybersecurity series and Jason Dion Security Plus course. Uh, so you need to update with the not only the old content, every time there'll be updated content in this course. And and Cybrary is a cybersecurity and platform with lab environment as well. And Hackersera is for highly recommended for pen testing who are really want to get into pen testing. They can use Hackersera. Uh, Next. Cybersecurity certifications. Coming to certifications, right? So for a beginner level, you can go for certified ethical hacker and Comtech Security Plus. Whereas certified ethical hacker will be get into the more kind of like cybersecurity attacks and patterns kind of thing. Whereas Comtech Security Plus, you'll have some basic. What is that system? What is an IP? From the base level of the security, you will have the basic. The base knowledge will be strong when you do the CompTIA Security Plus, and after that you can go for CEH if you really want to get into any threat hunting, SOC analyst kind of thing. An intermediate stage is offensive security certified professionals, and the advanced level is offensive security certified expert, where you do the hack the box kind of thing. And next, advanced, if you want to do a general security certifications, when you have 4 to 5 years of experience in cybersecurity, you can go for CISSP, CSM, series certified cloud security professional. You can go for, there are other certifications as well. But during as a beginner, you can go with CEH and CompTIA Security Plus. And next, there are some vendor-based certifications as well. AWS is providing certified security specialty, AWS security specialty, and Azure security engineer. Google also providing some cloud security engineer. Uh, Security administrator also providing by Checkpoint, and Palo Alto is also providing some entry level technician, cybersecurity entry level technician. Not only passing these certifications, doesn't matter. You should master the subject. Actually, you should master the subject. Then only you can get into the cybersecurity. You can switch between the various what do you say, various career paths within the cybersecurity. Next, finding a mentor. After all these things, you think you might be thinking that we have achieved a lot. No, we need to find a mentor who motivates you and advises in this industry, especially in this industry. You need to be upgraded with latest new attack patterns, new threats, right? And the mentor will guide you in a right path and supports you to achieve your goal. So as I said, without a mentor, it is not a good idea to go into this sector. There should be a mentor. Find a mentor so that you can one day you will also be a mentor for someone, right? And this is all about finding a good mentor. And next, uh, security conferences and communities. You can attend various security conferences and communities like Nalcon, Black Hat Meetup, and OWASP and RSA conference. These are all different security communities where you going to attend this not only to gain the knowledge, to expand your network, security network, having a friendly contacts with them to get in contact so that you can attend these kind of cybersecurity conferences and communities. Next, level up your LinkedIn profile. So create a profile, and if possible, upload a resume there, and follow the things which are relevant to you, which are relevant, not and nowadays this LinkedIn is becoming a social media platform. So follow which you want, which are relevant to you, which are relevant to your profile, and write some posts and articles what you have learned from various aspects, cybersec aspects, right? So that it will add an advantage you to understand how good your profile is, how keen you are about your cybersecurity, and make sure your bio to be updated. Don't update 5 years back old technologies, so that it will not give impact to your profile or your to your bio. And be polite and gentle while reaching out to your contacts. See, no, not every you should be polite. I've seen some people uh, pinging me on LinkedIn, I need a job kind of thing, right? So that is not the right way to approach the people. People might be busy in their own task, day-to-day life, right? You should be polite enough to reach out them, making some friendly relationship with them, and getting some whatever the queries you have, you want to get into contact with him to get it clarified. You should approach him in gentle and polite manner. Get the relevant endorsement from your, if you're a student, get from your faculty, and get some recommendations from your fellow uh, employees or colleagues or your managers. I would say organization will look into your profile and will find you if your best, if your profile matches the position, definitely the organizations will find you. And LinkedIn is the crucial in your job hunting. Next, top security companies to work. If you ask me, what are the top security companies you want to work for? One, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Cisco, Tenable, Sentinel. These are all good security, topmost cybersecurity companies. But I would say Palo Alto Networks because I'm biased. So maybe in a long run, you might be working with me, right? You working with us as a team, right? So these are the top five top cybersecurity companies if you would like to work for. And the next important aspect is building your career in the profile. So learning new things and giving back to the society, right? And do some open projects, and give some talks at your college if you're a student, and give some sessions to your fellow colleagues about the technology. And once you teach, right, you will learn something new about the platform, and not only which are known technology. You can give webinars by doing some research on the other technologies as well, right? So try to teach and present those to build your cybersecurity profile. Next, general tips and suggestions. I would say communication skill is the key factor. Why? Because you might be a good in security, right? But when it comes, if you're poor in communicating things, then it would be difficult for you. And even if you're average security professional, you should be you can articulate things properly. Then it will be an added advantage to you, that you should be convey the things you should be able to convey the things properly, articulating them to your higher management, senior management, or a CISO or your manager. So communication is key factor in your key skill. And you should be have a lot of patience. Initial phase will be tough for you guys, and rewards, but rewards are very worth struggle. And always be a team player, and you get a lot of wins. Be a team player, not as a single. Don't go alone and faster. uh, it is not a good practice actually. Always be a team member, which you get a good wins. And always open to new technologies, learn new technologies. You should be at the edge to learn uh, the new technology, otherwise you will be out of the game. Next, the most important aspect is why we need more women in the cybersecurity. So nowadays, is unfortunately in this industry we have 70%, most of 70% of men, right? So why do we need women in this cybersecurity? There are a lot of opportunities in cybersecurity for women as well. It is not tough to learn to get into the cybersecurity. It is there are a lot more opportunities are there for women. And in order to why we need women in the cyber industries to maintain gender balance in the cybersecurity industries. And it has been proven that women will have a uh, new perspectives, and women leaders, and also women leaders are proven to be more effective for the organization. And there is a myth that techie and ethical hackers, cyber detectives are mostly related to a male demographic. We should this perception needs to be changed. Empowered women will be empowered world, as I mentioned, and there are some lot of communities and scholarships being provided uh, to women, women in cybersecurity, women of cybersecurity, and SANS also providing some scholarships as well for the women. And well, cybersecurity is not just rewarding the career in terms of money. So it also you should give something to save the society. For example, nowadays you can see your parents are getting fished, smearing, they're getting attacks. Forward this message, you will get 1 crore rupees, right? You should be aware of those things and should be save them from those malicious hackers, malicious activities, right? So you should give some security awareness to the people, to your community, right? And I can say we are the guardians of the digital universe, like Avengers, right? So we do contribute something to the society uh, from these malicious intent people who really want to grab or steal the money from them, right? So next, thank you guys. Thank you once again. Thank you for giving this opportunity. I know it's a weekend, but taking a time out in this weekend and joining, I really appreciate you guys for joining the session. If you have any queries, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me.
So, hi Suresh, this is Santosh from. I have been working with one of the startup companies. So, this has
Yeah,
been
hi
very
Santosh.
informative. Hi, hi. So, yeah, this has been very informative. So, you have collated almost all the ground working data, which I think which would take us a lot of time to collate that. I appreciate it for that. But before that, I have a few questions. Can I go ahead and ask?
Yes, yes, go ahead, Santosh.
Yeah, so basically, so see, currently we have switched our modules, or we have switched our domain into a product development. Okay, from past since past 3 to 4 months. Okay,
Okay,
so we are trying to build the security team here. Okay,
okay,
now so we are into different product developments. When I say different, like we are building on-premises applications, we are building uh, cloud applications, and all those things. So, I just want to understand, like, what will be our security stack, like as an initial point to start with, right? Right,
yes,
and then yeah, and then how to hire the right security people from the market, because I hope this, I think this is not a relevant question to hear, but I think you would have an idea on this, right? These are
yes,
the
yes.
primary two questions. So post that, we'll proceed further for another questions also, please.
Sure, Santosh. So first of all, how critical is your applications, right? And what is the business need in order to adapt the security, right? So as I said, you need to categorize your applications, whether it's external facing or internal to the organization. So based on that, you will be having some. I will give some outline here. What is it based on your business need?
So
You said you have different type of applications.
yeah,
Uh,
so
so
can I yeah, sorry to interrupt. So can I give you the overview of what we are building so that you will
yes,
get an
yes, yes,
idea? Yeah.
yes,
So, yeah, yeah. So here we are trying to build the healthcare claims management, right? Like claims
yes,
end-to-end management, yeah, starting from patient admission in the hospital, and then getting the discharge bills, right, approved from the insurance companies, and all we are maintaining in a centralized revenue cycle management application. Okay, so this application will face not only to the one hospital, it will deal with multiple hospitals, not only hospitals. So if I have to divide in the healthcare terms, it will divide in between payers and providers, right? So
okay,
payers is nothing but actual insurance companies, and providers are nothing but the mediators who to approve the insurance bills. For example, we have different hospitals like Kokila Bay and NRI like this, right? So these are providers, right? So this will be out facing. Number two, and the load on the application will be huge. The claims data, healthcare data is itself is very huge, right? And lot of technology will come into picture. Yeah.
This data, so who all going to access this data first of all? Who all going
Yeah.
to
So
access
here
this?
we have
Users,
two
use.
kinds of two variations of data here. One will be one data will be accessible by all people in the hospital. Okay, and the other data will be very restrictive. Like we have few compliances like HIPAA compliance and GDPR compliance. All these
Yes,
compliances. Okay, so we have to maintain that in order to secure the patient's data, right? For example,
yes, yes,
yeah. So for example, I'll give you an example. My name is Santosh Jana. Okay, so I think that I have been diagnosed with fever or something else, right? So there is a strict rule in the healthcare industry that they can reveal my name, but they shouldn't reveal my diagnosis to the whole world,
yes, yes,
right? That is a crime,
yes,
right? So
yes.
the personalized data will stay in our restrictive data center, which is hosted in AWS. Okay,
Okay,
and if you claim information like this patient they got this much amount claim, that will be stored in a cloud, like everyone's access. Okay.
okay, okay. So as you mentioned, your data will be hosted in cloud. So is it are you using a platform as a service or software as a service?
We are using software as a service.
Right. So here we need to consider multiple factors, Santosh here. So when comes to this, there is a call of risk acceptance, risk tolerance, and what do you say, risk transfer. So as you mentioned, software as a service, all your risk factor, all your security will be taken care by the cloud vendor. Cloud vendor. So here
Okay.
this aspect is called risk transference. So you will be the data object, but it will be controlled and what do you say, secured by the cloud. So there will be
Understood.
some mutual understand. There will be mutual understanding between your company and the cloud vendor.
Yeah, I hope I have gone through the AWS security aspects and
Yes, yes,
modules they are providing. So I hope they have mentioned that they are
yes.
HIPAA compliant and GDPR compliant. But yeah, could you give me any specific modules in the AWS security which we need to concentrate more on? Like for
Uh,
example,
not not
services.
actually. So sorry for that, Santosh. I'm not into cloud security kind of thing. So
Just Suresh, maybe I can add a bit here.
yes, yes, yes.
Hey,
Sure, Prashant.
uh, that was a great question, right? So, but as you're saying, you are into the SaaS products, right? If I'm not wrong. So what you can do is there are some general instructions which you can definitely follow. Like I shared it on the chat, right? So you're saying that you got an application which is mostly handling the health data, which is very critical, right? And you were saying that you're already adhering to the HIPAA and the GDPR compliance, if I'm not wrong. Now, what are the important factors? The initial factors, what you can try to focus on is basically the user management. The first one is there is a principle called as principle of least privilege. So again, when you have this application, right, make sure that only the right people have the right set of access. Sometimes what happens is in startup environments, right, everybody has all the admin access, which is not right, correct? Only the relevant people who actually handle the data should have the right set of permissions. Second part is data masking. Irrespective of even if it is a admin, they should not be able to see the right health data, because it's a health data, right? You are nobody is supposed to, as a vendor, you are not supposed to see the health data of any customers, be it from Anandiben Hospital or Kokila Ben, right? You're not supposed to see that data. So what you have to do is you need to enable some sort of mechanisms where your data will be masked. Okay, so this first set of actions is called as user management. Second set of action is login mechanism, right? In your application, make sure there is always an MFA, right? I'm sure you might be aware of MFA, right? Your multi-factor authentication.
Yeah,
These
multi-factor
days,
authentication. Correct.
Yes, these days you even have an advanced level called as passwordless, wherein it will be mostly your biometric login, right? Make sure to have that, or a push notification, whatever you feel is relevant, right? But make sure you have a MFA, that is your multi-factor authentication. And the third part is basically your security administration, right? What you do is maybe you're storing this data in some sort of database, some servers, and a lot of other components, right, which you're saving on. Make sure all these applications, databases, are all up to date, which keep checking regularly if there is any security patches available. What people do is there's one website called a CV information something. I'm not sure of the website. You can actually see if you're using a particular database, if there is any sort of like security patches, right? Risk advisory, they keep sending it, the vendor which you'll be using, right? The softwares. Keep checking regularly if there is any some sort of software patches available. If it is available, make sure you have a very strict and a very systematic patch management mechanism, so that every once in 2 weeks or once a week there is a check, and make sure that you keep applying these patches, because if you don't apply the security patch, you are at a risk of getting compromised through a third party application, right, which is not even under your control. So that is the thing. And the fourth one I would say is, of course, the traditional perimeter defense, right? So make sure if it is possible to have this airtight environment, so that it is not exposed entirely to the internet, or at least the sensitive data is not exposed to the internet. And if it is, make sure you have a very strict perimeter defense, like your firewalls, your zero trust, right? Your, let's say, for example, your VPNs. Only using a specific tunneling mechanism, you should be able to access this data. You should not be able to access it over the direct internet route. And finally, I would say, apart from all these things, right, monitoring is very important mechanism. When I say monitoring, it's like this, right? Whatever the activity, if you have kids, you keep monitoring the kids, right? What they do, no matter how much protection you do, they often try to evade all those protection and will end up doing whatever they wish to do, right? All the naughty stuff, right? So what you try to do is make sure that there are a proper audit mechanism. When I say audit mechanism, you're saying it's on cloud, right? Make sure your cloud trial is enabled, right? Your logs. Logging is very important. Make sure your logs are being sent to a centralized mechanism like your SIM platforms. Or let's say in AWS, if you're using, there are some services called as Security Hub. And I believe there's something called as a guard duty. Make sure to utilize these sort of resources, because security is not just one fix. I can't just tell that, hey, use this product, you are secure. It's not like that, right? You need to have multiple layers of security. That is why we call it as, you might have heard this term often, called as defense in depth, right? Defense in depth is like your onion mechanism. Like in an onion, right, you have multiple layers. So similarly in security also, we advise you to have multiple layers of security. That is when you can totally protect your environment. So there's no straightforward answer for your query, but you need to have like multiple layers of security to protect your assets. I hope that addresses.
Yeah, it's quite informative, and the last summarizes the last summary was excellent. Actually, you have compared that with onion, the different layers. So I think I love that. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Not a problem. You had another query, I guess. I'll leave it to Shreya.
Yeah, I think you have addressed that. You have addressed that.
Okay, so hi, hello guys. Hi Suresh, this is Sunil. So
Yeah, hi,
firstly, thank
Sunil.
you for the informative session. It was very nice. So I have one, not a question, but I just want to know out of curiosity. Like we nowadays we are seeing that AI is playing its prominent role everywhere, in irrespective of the domain. So
Yes.
what is that we have in cybersecurity with respect to AI? Is there some use cases which are already being used? How it is being applicable? What are the pros and cons?
Uh, I think there are no currently, we are using in our environment, we are using for internal purpose. We are trying to get some data and training a model uh, to get those data to our internal support team for kind of thing. Uh, but it's not completely we are utilizing that AI part, but we are in a phase to have that incorporated in cybersecurity, where if you want to utilize in such a way, right, if you want to gather some information related to any vulnerability, if any IOCs, if any, as an indicator of compromise, so we are for a threat analysis purpose or threat hunting purpose. we can use AI for those aspects to get the detailed info, what exactly that threat actor, how it acts, and what kind of patterns being used. Where using AI, we can do that. So initially, for we are using, I've seen people using for investigation purpose, not pasting all their internal IPs, but for informative related information they want, then they were using this AI.
Good. Thank you.
So the I mean, what I can say, if you paste your private IPs, right, the private related your company sensitive data, so you've seen, right, it will be stored somewhere in the back end of the AI, right? So you
Yeah.
are not supposed to query for the your sensitive data, your company sensitive data with OpenAI.
Yeah, but I mean that is when we are using these third-party models. But
Yes,
when we ourselves can train a model with our own data, which resides in our environment itself, so I think that is still
mhm.
possible, right?
Yes,
Sunil,
yes.
just to add here, right? So I have one doubt here. So it's a wonderful question of utilizing the AI in cybersecurity, right? When you speak of AI, are you speaking about general machine learning algorithms, or are you
Yes.
speaking about the new LLM?
No, not generative AI. Any sort of,
Okay,
machine learning, or it could
right,
be even a
right.
simple classification task,
Yes, yes, absolutely,
because
absolutely.
you always
See,
identify in
mhm.
order to identify particular whether a particular
True
URL
that,
is,
true that.
yeah,
True that. So we ourselves work on a product called as XOR, which is like a security automation product, right? Both me and Suresh. So I can give an example based on that, right? So most of the time,
okay,
what happens is we have phishing emails, phishing malware related investigations and stuff, right? In the security,
mhm,
what do you say, the incident response thing, right? So what we try to
yeah,
do is we have got some inbuilt, like we are not the experts of AI, but our product has got this inbuilt mechanism of AI models, right? Or you call just machine learning models, which keeps tracking for some sort of a pattern, right? If
yeah,
in
yeah,
case there are some signatures or there are some patterns which will signify that this might actually be a phishing, right? We definitely flag it. And if you'd ask me, even in the spam fraud control, right? Let's say your Gmail itself, if you see, that is where how the machine learning models have been used, right? You see, there is a spam, correct?
yeah,
The
yeah.
Nigerian prince scam, or let's say your fake, what do you say, 1 lakh, what do you say, the gift packages and
Lottery
all those
scams,
scam things, right? Exactly.
yeah,
So that is the direct usage of the machine learning in your cybersecurity, right? I would call
okay,
it as a fraud investigation rather than cybersecurity, fraud and risk, right? So that is where it is
mhm,
mostly used. But of course, we are seeing huge potential of AI being used in what do you say, in cybersecurity, even if it is LLM, right? Generative AI, especially for your
yeah,
reporting mechanism. Let's say you have found a vulnerability, you need to present it to your management who doesn't understand it in a nice way. So we often, security engineers, we often fail to communicate it in the right way, right? So in these cases, your generative AI can be very useful because it can make a nice, clear, concise report, and that is what it is, right? It's the usage of the machine learning there as well.
yeah. Understood. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prashasth.
So anyone have any more doubts or questions?
Hello, Suresh, Dinesh here. Actually, I have one query. Actually, I'm
Yes, yes.
currently working as a network engineer. So, how can I convert into cybersecurity? I mean, this
So,
experience.
see, if you, so what is your, you want to be as a network security engineer, or if you want to go to other career paths, or how it is?
In cybersecurity, I want to go to VAPT domain, web application API and mobile pen
We,
testing.
so you need to learn some pen testing, I mean, courses. As I said, Ackersera is right. Go to that particular training portal and learn some PT trainings, and
Okay,
do some do if you go, as I said, right. Take some sample web application URLs and do some testings out there with the URLs. Open source projects are there. Like if you open source projects like GitHub, in GitHub, you'll find some URLs to do some pen testing kind of thing. So
okay,
first go through that courses and do some practical sessions on that. And definitely it will be an added advantage to you if you do uh, to get into your VAPT.
okay, thank you.
So
Is there
hope
anyone
everyone's
else?
questions are clear. No, Suresh, no answer raised. So I think everyone. So thank you for joining this session, everyone, and thank you very much, Suresh, and also Prasast, for this wonderful presentation. And also, it's very interactive for those who
Yes.
ask questions. And hope this helped out our attendees get some awareness and knowledge about how to join this cybersecurity field. Because according to me, the whole world is running behind ML and AI as of now. But this is a very potential field that everyone should focus on. So, and this the presentation helped a lot to get some awareness, even for me also. That's a very good thing. And thank you. Thanks a lot, Suresh and
I'm looking
Prasad.
forward to more sessions. So Harsha and team, OWASP team. So we'll organize some, if possible, we'll organize some other sessions related to other cybersecurity topics.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Thank you.
We are also looking forward to join with you and conduct more events for attendees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, Harsha.
Bye, Suresh.
Bye,
Bye,
Harsha.
Prasad.